I have to ask you a question.
Okay.
It's for the Norman show.
Oh.
What do you think about Norman?
I love Norman. He is the funniest dog I've ever met.
Okay. What do you think about Norman? And then we'll do Stella.
Norman's crazy.
Norman just totally cracks me up.
Yeah.
I said I'd just come over here just to look and watch Norman.
Do you have anything nice to say about him?
It's crazy in a nice way.
Marty?
Oh, me and Norm go way back.
I think he's a pretentious ass. Just like.
Okay.
What?
Thanks.
Well,
And what about Stella?
she's just loving.
Do you like Barack Obama? Barack Obama? Do you like Whoopi? Do you like Joe Biden? What about Stella?
Stella is great, but Norman's the star.
Okay. Take two. Mike Leonard, how do you feel about Norman?
He's all right. He's kind of high maintenance, you know.
You called him something once,
Earlier today.
last year.
Oh, what did I call him?
You called him an asshole.
Oh, an asshole. Is this family TV or?
I'm missing one. There's little Brutus. Brutus! There he is. Okay. Everybody's outside.
What did I call him earlier today?
Who, Norman?
Yeah, I called Norman something
Yeah.
else today. He's kind of, you know, he's
Jerk stick
kind of a pain in the ass.
He's a little turkey toad.
Turkey toad. Okay.
He's a little stinker. I love Norman.
Yeah. Look at that. She's very smart. There she goes.
He's got beigeish fur and pointy ears.
No,
What are you more looking for?
like personality.
He's very hyperactive and neurotic,
Okay.
and he's very cute
Uh-huh.
and very energetic,
Okay.
and he's just a pleasure to be around.
Thank you. Little tiny Brutus.
It's definitely a gas passer, so he fits right in. Guys, Norman's a good dog.
Any thoughts? Any anecdotes?
No.
As long as he doesn't bite my toes, I like him.
Okay.
But he's a, you know, he's a dog. So, you know.
Okay. Thanks.
Nice. I like Norman. You know,
Okay.
Norman's a nice dog.
Norman? Norman doesn't care.
I think Norman is a wonderful dog. A little neurotic, but wonderful.
Okay. Here's the bedroom. Is he in here? There he is.
What did you say about Norman?
I said he was a turkey toad.
Oh, God.
So here we are at the dog park.
I think it's too cool for school. Awesome little dog. I want to bring him home.
Okay. Thank you.
You bet.
What? I think he's Stormin' Norman. I don't really know what else to say about him, but
Okay.
he pretty much he wears that sweatshirt pretty well too.
Okay. Thank
So
you. What do you think about Norman?
Come here, Norman.
Norman's a cute little loaf of Wonder Bread. He likes to pal around with all the people, and he's so cute.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you.
what?
Oh, Norman, no, no.
Is he playing maybe?
No. Hey, Dave Kaufman. What do you think of Norman?
I think Norman is one of the cutest little pups ever.
Aww.
Look at his little face. Look at how cute that little face is. That's the cutest little face ever.
And it's very obvious to me that he's very manipulative in a very sneaky sort of way. And not in a bad way. Because coming to my house, it was only day number 2 before he was running the show. And literally had me eating out of his paws. Because I literally was hand feeding him. And before I realized it, I was like, oh my God, he's totally running the whole entire show. And he's very pleasant, but he does have a little few idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
He really likes, he's very social, but he's quite the talker, and if it doesn't go his way, he will let you know. Should I tell the story about the corner in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Because it's a really good story.
Yes.
Okay, so we went for a walk, and I brought them in, and it was Stella, Norman, and Albert, and we went into the kitchen to have a snack. And I left the kitchen, and Stella and Albert went and laid on the couch, and I went into the bedroom or the bathroom or somewhere and came out and went and sat on the couch next to Stella. And I sat down for about 30 seconds, and I heard the blood-curdling scream. Literally sounds like death. And I went into the kitchen, and Norman was in the corner, literally up against the corner, with his butt sticking out, screaming, because he apparently didn't know where I was. So I had to pick him up and carry him to the couch. It's a very small apartment. But he was scared.
He gets scared.
He got scared. He couldn't find me. I was like 20 feet away. And Stella and Albert are laying on the couch like, what is the problem?
Yeah.
And I think I must have just left the room for about a minute. I'm sure I just went to the bathroom or something. He wasn't even sitting. He was standing, head down, completely, right shoved up into the counters.
Just scared.
To the cupboards. He was very scared.
He thinks he's a tough guy, but...
Oh, he's so not very tough. And as a matter of fact, on the way home from the dog park, because he did very well at the dog park, but I was comfortable taking him because I'm aware of his special needs. And he did fine. And then it was, I could tell he was visiting with somebody, and their dog got too close, and it wasn't a big deal. And I'm like, okay, you've worn out your welcome, it's time to go, which was no big deal. But in the car, on the way home, his head's so big, and he couldn't keep his head up, and he was like weaving back and forth.
He was so tired.
He was so tired, and it just turned out it was February, and it turned out that it was like 40 degrees that day.
Yeah.
So we were there for like 2 hours.
Oh, that's a lot for him.
But we didn't it wasn't like hardcore running. We went, we sat on a stump, and Stella was, doing the terrain.
Right, rough terrain.
Rough terrain, but it was just funny because I felt bad. I'm like, oh my God, his head's so heavy he can't hold it up. And his eyes were almost like rolling back in his head.
We're talking about you, Norman.
And he likes things a certain way.
Yes.
He's a very good sleeper. But, when he's coming to lay down, he's like a little submarine, a little torpedo. And he was very good when he came to stay with us. Yes. Only, I think, once or twice he would look over at Albert and kind of give him the eye. Yeah. And kind of do the, and I'd say, oh, that's enough of that. And he'd stop. Good. He was very good.
Good.
What else can I say about Norman?
I think that's pretty good.
Is it? Because he was such a joy.
I know, there's so much to say.
There is so much, because all my neighbors fell in love with him.
Yeah.
People wanted to steal him. And one day when we were outside, I was talking to one of the neighbors, and Stella was going potty, and he wanted to go in. And he started screaming, and my neighbor jumped about 5 feet in the air. I'm like, oh, he's just ready to go in. She goes, oh my God, you would have thought somebody was chopping off a limb. I'm like, I know. And it is a blood-curdling scream.
Yeah.
It doesn't even sound like a dog.
No.
Okay, I'm going to put him down now.
Okay.
He's very special.
Yeah.
We love him.
I guess that's a wrap, huh? Noreen? Is that a wrap?